Hey, we got another beautiful Saturday morning. We got a great show in store for you today. Cindy, how can people find out more about Steel Horse Thunder?
Go to steelhorsethunder.com and you can find all the information there. You can find Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, whatever you do with all those things, just push those buttons.
That's right. And thank you, Leydendorf Law, for being on board with Steel Horse Thunder for all these years. Without your support, we never could have made it. Leydendorf Law, if you're looking for a personal injury lawyer, they're the ones you need to call.
Steel Horse is brought to you by Leydendorf Law, with over 60 years experience in motorcycle and automotive injury cases.
You've done this ride. This is the 11th year.
Correct.
You are the only ride that has a Huey helicopter that follows it, which is pretty cool. I rode in it last year, going to ride in it this year. It's going to be fun.
Yes, it is.
But what is this ride all about?
This ride, actually, it started with the Indiana Blue Star Salute, which is a non-for-profit organization that pays tribute to military families. There are a lot of benefits, organized functions to pay tribute to our military, but the people left at home, the people that worry about our veterans, our soldiers, our active duty members every day, they kind of get left on the wayside. So this day pays tribute to them. It's for the military family. And the ride is just a motorcycle procession paying tribute to them. And the funds raised from this ride, and all funds raised out at the event itself, go towards the American Legion Legacy Scholarship Fund for orphans of soldiers fallen from the state of Indiana.
Now this ride today is different than last year. It's starting at a different place. What made you change the place that you started?
As stubborn as I can be, I do listen to constructive criticism. A couple of the things I heard about the last few rides were, first of all, waiting on the Huey. Because of the proximity to the airport, Charlie had to get clearance to get that close to the airport, so sometimes we had to wait on him. And I asked him, I said, if I can find a venue where we can land the Huey and you can leave with us, are you willing to do it? Charlie says, of course. And he says, anything you want. And then also by starting it here, the other thing people mention is the length of the ride. From Indy West out to Hendricks County, it was only an 11-mile ride. By starting here, I've actually expanded it to a 40-mile ride.
And I bet the riders like that because they like to ride a little bit longer and have that Huey follow them because that's cool.
Yeah, the longer Charlie's in the air, the happier we are.
Chuck, I see you around all the time. You guys do a great job at what you do. What are you doing on this ride today?
Well, I'm one of the members of Rolling Thunder from the Indianapolis Chapter 1, and we do a lot of these benefit rides, mainly to help military families and military people. And we have a few members here. I noticed we've got probably 10 members here right now, and I've done this for 3 years, this ride for 3 years.
Well, it's a little bit different this year. I think it's going to be pretty good. What do you think?
Oh, it's always good. Yeah, I love the end of it when you get to the fairgrounds and everybody does their speeches and everything. You learn a lot, and you see a lot of people that need our support, and we give our support from Rolling Thunder.
How many times have you been on this ride?
This would be my 4th time.
I heard you say you wanted to ride on that Huey. You'd leave your bike here to ride on that Huey.
I would leave my bike here in a heartbeat to ride on that Huey.
It's pretty cool. I was up there last year, and it's pretty cool. You should ride.
Looking up last year.
Yeah.
I was looking for you.
So you were on the ride last year. It was the 10th year.
Yes.
It was pretty cool ride last year.
Beautiful day for it. Yeah, it was really a nice day. Great ride. I don't know if it benefited American Legion Legacy Scholarship Fund, and I'm a rider out of Post 155 in Carmel, so I try and make these events.
So are you a veteran?
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for your service, because without you guys, we wouldn't be in a free land.
Well, thank you for everything you do for veterans. I know you show up at all the rides, and saw you last week at the Miracle Ride, and every time we turn around we see you, and it's really great to have you around.
Hey man, Leydendorf Law, personal injury lawyer. I tell you, Leydendorf Law has been a part of this show, a major part of this show for 20 years. Thank you so much, Leydendorf Law, for what you've done for Steel Horse Thunder and all the riders.
So Don, you're here at this ride. I heard this is your first ride. Yes. Somebody, they didn't have to drag you here, did they?
Oh, no. It was for a good cause, and a good friend of mine was a Marine, and that's why we came out.
So that is the reason you came out, was because of that. This is going to be a great ride today. I know it's your first time, but it is a good ride. That Huey helicopter is going to be, I can't even say it.
That's pretty amazing.
It's going to be up in the sky, and it's going to be pretty cool.
It's going to be amazing. It's already amazing. There's lots of people here, and
So is this one of your bigger rides, or have you been on other rides?
I've been on other rides, but this is a pretty good size one for us. And we lived, an hour away from here, so you don't have any.
Well, you had a good ride here.
We had a great ride here.
So, Rick, you have done all the rides. Do you coordinate, or do you just come on the ride?
Well, I started the ride in 2005, and Cowboy coordinates it about 4 years later.
So you're the actual first one that put the ride on, though.
Sure. Yep.
So how much time did it take for you to do that? I mean, what was your purpose of doing it?
Well, it took a couple of years for it to be organized to a large number of bikes, but the word of mouth had to spread.
Yeah.
But the military at the time was in their high mode with the war, and a lot of people had a lot of patriotic in them, so that's why it grew mostly, because it's military related.
Well, I'm glad you came out to this ride today. What's your buddy's name?
This is Mark.
How you doing today?
Mark Replogle. We call him Rep Doggle
Why do you call him that?
Because I ride
Just-
a Honda.
because he rides a Honda.
Okay, we do not discriminate about bikes. We love any kind of bikes. What kind of bike do you ride?
A Honda Goldwing, and I do have a Buell.
I have a Buell, and this is the Cadillac, right? This Honda's a Cadillac.
Cadillac. And we travel all over the world with, or United States with it, the wife and I. Last year we went out of the United States, up through Canada, down Maine, through New York, and you cannot ride a better bike.
I don't know why he calls himself that, but I think all his friends calls him that.
I'm a receiver. I'm a sponge. Sarcasm finds me because I have a group of guys that we've been riding with now for about 8-9 years, and you always have to have somebody you pick on. So I take it with stride. I enjoy it, and I look forward to it. I always like to see what they can give me every day. So
That's fun.
It keeps the ride a lot more fun when you're having somebody to pick on, and always have a laugh. So if they have to laugh at me, I feel like that's my purpose in life, to bring joy to them at my expense. So
I don't know how.
as long as they buy me a beer now and then too, it makes up for it.
Well, that's pretty good. So what brings you out to this ride today? Is it just those guys, just to make fun of you?
We do a lot of annual rides, and this is one that we really feel is really important. We always look at the cause, and obviously the support for the military families is by far very, very important. And if you're going to have to spend your time, what more else would you want to do than be with your friends? And one of our riders is actually a Afghan vet, Iraq vet, so he's great guy, and so I really appreciate what the military has done, the sacrifices that they make.
Hey, big shout out to Crambo's out in Greencastle. Man, if you're looking for paint work, mechanical work, or accessories, they have everything you need out in Greencastle. It's Crambo's. You know what they say, they'll get you
Do you do
noticed.
this yourself?
No, I did that. It's easy enough to braid it in the mirror. It's long enough.
You don't have your girlfriend or wife or whatever do that for you?
Every once in a while. But
Yeah.
she was working last night, so I just braided it up myself and threw some skulls in there to keep it weighted down.
Is that what you do, weight it down with that?
Yeah. Otherwise, it just beats me in the face when I'm riding.
Yes, I understand that, because Scott says the same way.
It always kind of makes me tear up.
Yes, and it should.
But because we get to do what we're doing today because of these guys. I mean, this is what freedom's all about.
You know, it really is. And they do the ultimate sacrifice when they're over there in the military, and I don't think they get enough recognition for what they do. So I'm glad that you guys are honoring those families today.
I appreciate you saying that. None of this would be possible. We're a Christian-based group, and if it wasn't for the good Lord and God, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing today. My wonderful crew, all my crew donate their time and effort, and that's how we're able to pull this off for the Blue Star. But ultimately, we always have to say, how do we have this freedom? How are we able to do these things today? And it's because of these families, and undoubtedly they are not paid enough. They are not taken care of like they should be. I think that it's time that people really start to wake up and realize the people that are giving us our freedoms today need to be taken care of.
Jeff, how was the ride for you today? You said it was your first one.
This is my first ride ever, and I'm hooked. I've had my bike for a year now, and I can't go back. Got to always ride. Got to ride.
So is this your first big ride?
This is my first big ride, yes. I've got in a smaller chapter, smaller rides, but this is the biggest.
So how many times have you been on this ride?
I was going to come last year, and I didn't make it, but I made sure I was going to be here this year. I enjoy it.
So did you like it? Was it a long enough ride for you?
Yes, ma'am, it was. Kind of, for old long legs, though, I was like, oh, my God, I need to stand up. But it was fun, though.
It was a lot of fun. We were up there in the helicopter watching you guys, and that was pretty cool.
We could feel the breeze when you guys come by. Yeah. Me and Connor, she said, oh, I can feel the breeze. I said, yeah, it does feel good. So I opened up my vest so the wind could fly. Yeah, it was fun.
So what did you think about that helicopter?
The Huey UH-1, man, I saw him flying above. I tried to wave at him, but it's kind of dangerous to be doing that when you're riding. So, I did the wave on the side. That's about it. I don't think they can see that. But
just an awesome blessing to be here. My son served in the United States Army. My dad was in the United States Army, so it's close to the heart for me. And I got still family members that are still in it, so I wouldn't have missed it.
What are you guys doing out here today? I mean, you guys are Colts cheerleaders. You're a big deal. What are you doing out here today?
Yeah, so we just actually led a kids clinic. We taught a dance to some girls and boys of their parents are away overseas, and so today this is a huge program for them to come out, meet other families who are going through the same situation, just have a good time, and take their mind off where their parents are today, and it's awesome.
Okay, so today, how was it being able to come in here? Because this was close quarters. So is this like the closest you've been, or do you land in these kind of places all the time?
We have several other demos that are just as tight, if not a little bit tighter than this one. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. The winds were pretty much in our favor, gave us the length of the landing we needed. A little bit of turbulence off the buildings, but not bad.
Okay, so how long have each of you guys been jumping out of, or jumping whatever it is that you do?
I started in 1991. I have pushing almost 850 jumps. So,
I started the same year. I have 6,000 plus skydives.
I'm the old guy. I started in 1974 and I've lost count.
Yesterday's ride was a pretty big event. How many bikes showed up yesterday?
We had just about 250 bikes and raised just under $4,000.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
So how is that compared to years past?
Years past, actually the numbers were down. Numbers were up this year because of the new venue and everything. I wasn't sure how it was going to fluctuate because we had actually moved our ride up a week, and we were competing with other rides in the area. Next year we will move it back to the third Saturday in June. But for the change in venue and change in I was pleasantly surprised at what we had come out. And Brian and Brenda with B Square Country Saloon, they were an extreme help, supplying the breakfast for everybody. I mean, you came in, you had scrambled eggs, biscuits and gravy, sausage link, home fries, and an atmosphere that was air conditioned, and you could sit down and relax before the ride started. So I got nothing but compliments on the ride yesterday, and everybody's looking, everybody that was out there yesterday is looking forward to doing it again next year.
Well, hey, that's going to do it for us this week. I hope you enjoyed the Blue Star Week, and I hope you learned a little bit about what the Blue Star families and the Blue Star mothers all stand for. Personally, I hope Indiana steps up its game and starts taking care of its veterans a little bit better.
Yes, and the Blue Star Salute was an awesome ride. It's always nice to ride in a Huey.
Well, and that proves the point again. It doesn't matter what you ride.
It's that you ride.
Still Horse is brought to you by Leidendorf Law with over 60 years experience in motorcycle and automotive injury cases.